Do I know myself? It is a question that has always driven me crazy. It is a question that used to suffocate me. I always felt confused and angry by it. Because if I don't know myself, how will I face the world? From a really young age, I felt life was short. And it all started when I was 10. I was on an airplane coming back to Dubai after having an amazing summer in my home country. There was a man sitting with his wife and daughter in the row right in front of me. Suddenly, an hour after takeoff, his wife was screaming at the top of her voice. Her husband was having a seizure. She started panicking, claiming that this never happened before. And soon everyone was in a state of fear and panic. The passengers, the crew, and myself. They were screaming for a doctor on board. Hearing the commotion, those who couldn't see what was going on felt there was something wrong with the plane and thought the plane was about to crash. All I could see was people wailing and the crew trying their best to calm them down. Watching everyone pray for another chance, I began freaking out too. I remember thinking, I'm too young to die. This day was life-changing for me because it made me realize how meaningless it was to live without a purpose. Now, I'm 17, and according to the life expectancy of the country I'm living in, I'm done with 22% of my life. I thought I should really start to get to know myself better now. And so, just like any regular teenager in the 21st century would do, I asked Google. And from there, I came across a huge number of online quizzes that it became a sort of addiction. If you've ever done a BuzzFeed quiz before, well then mate, you know my struggle. I would not only do what is your personality quizzes myself, but I would make my friends and family do them too. I thought BuzzFeed would really help me with this one. But sorry BuzzFeed, you just made everything worse. I became confused. I kept on wondering whether I was an introvert or an extrovert, thinking or feeling, sensing or intuitive, judging or perceiving. I know they sound like a bunch of big words, but believe me, if you've done this many personality quizzes, you'd feel like a doctor in psychology. I would lock up myself in my room sometimes and dream about my future. I would act out scenes from my future as if they were true. You might think I'm crazy, but this is what kept me sane. I was inspired by many things during this time. One thing I really loved doing was going to the beach or going on a cruise in the middle of the sea. I just loved the sea breeze and the fact that I was surrounded by nothing but blue sparkling water. It made me feel free, like I could do anything. In year 9, we had to make decisions about what subjects we wanted to take the following year, which is basically the first step towards building a career. Of course, I got stressed, and I changed my options a couple of times. I was inspired by Johnny Depp's freedom in Pirates of the Caribbean and my love for the sea. So again, I asked Google, what career involves the sea? And Google said, I should be a marine engineer. Finally, my life was sorted. I thought it was going to be a really cool job because it empowers women, because not a lot of women do it. But there was a slight issue. I hated physics. The cycle went on, and I kept thinking and dreaming. Another thing I grew up doing was sketching and drawing portraits. So I thought, why not become an architect or a graphic designer? Then I can basically do what I'm good at. I definitely felt important when I got requests from people telling me to draw something for a project or an event. But I just hated the idea of doing architecture as a career, because this career would revolve around projects that you would have to complete within a set period of time, the way others wanted it, or you'd be fired. It would stifle my creativity. That just wouldn't do. In year 11, we had to make decisions about what careers we wanted to do and what subjects we wanted to take. But the thing is, I still got indecisive. I was indecisive about everything. And I kept changing my mind and my options. My decisions changed every single day sometimes. I wanted to be an environmental scientist one day, then an activist, a YouTuber, designer, nutritionist, and the list goes on and on. Until I got this magnificent idea. Why not become an animator or a director? Then I can make my own characters and be everything at once. So it was done. I told my family, and I was going to apply for university for an animation and movie making program. Fast forward to the first 2 months of my senior year. They were probably the saddest 2 months of my life. I still felt demotivated. Art and animation wasn't my passion. I wasn't planning on sitting at a desk every single day just to draw. I wasn't going to be happy with that. I'm all about the adventure, the freedom, and trying new things. I was tired of being lost and not knowing who I am. And so I went and asked different people what I should be doing. And the thing is, everyone would tell me the same thing that I already knew, because sometimes if you don't know yourself, others won't either, and you're sort of lost in this blank, dark hole. I had to get out of this hole, or I would go crazy. I came back from school one day and was procrastinating as usual. That day, I realized something about myself. I realized that I was doing something quite absent-mindedly every single day. I was going on from one Wikipedia page to the next, searching about different diseases, the different parts of the human body, and I would sometimes even watch YouTube videos of surgeries. I just loved how the brain works and have always been fascinated by how different hormones and chemicals cause you to feel different things. Passion, hunger, excitement, it is all thanks to our wonderful brain. I had this curiosity and drive for the human body and biology that never seemed to stop. It was a tremendous moment of realization and insight that made all the neurotransmitters of my body work. I realized that I was spending way too much time on this field. And I just loved biology. It was my passion. It would make me forget about exams and not study for them. This was a eureka moment for me, because I realized that in order to find your passion, all you have to do is look at what you do in your free time. What do you do when you're not supposed to do it? My passion was my weakness because it was my source of procrastination, which is a killer if you're in your senior year of high school and have the most important exams of your life coming up. But now, I'm turning this passion into strength by applying to medical school, and hopefully I will become a surgeon one day. My passion is what drives me to do better, to be more thoughtful, to be more organized, and just be a better human all over. And it doesn't end there. Just because you can do something or you plan to do something doesn't mean you can't do other things. you can, which is something I failed to understand earlier. I can love the sea, the environment, be inspired by art, do public speaking, and be a surgeon. The most important thing about life is not just finding your passion, but it is allowing every part of yourself to live, to be free, and just enjoy every moment of your time. I go back to that memory of the plane ride when I was 10. It was something that really inspired me because that doctor on the plane was the only person that seemed to be able to save that man's life. He inspired me into the field of medicine. I was powerless at 10, and I'm still powerless at 17. But I will not stay powerless my whole life. By deciding to be a surgeon, I feel in control again, which, believe me, is the best feeling in the world. I am ready to live my life now with extreme fun and adventure. I'll walk on beaches, live by the ocean, wield scalpels with dexterity, and sketch my life. And most importantly, all of you should continue to dream because your choices are endless. Thank you.